Kampai!
Kampai!
So welcome, weebs, to this week's episode of KampaiCast, episode 82. And we're going to be talking about VTubers, that illustrious, I suppose, modern-era mythical creature, much like fairies, that are all the rage right now. So, but first of all, I'm going to have a drink, so give me a second.
They sure are. They sure
Right,
are.
so let's get into, and also we have our VTuber expert here, which is Thalian.
Yeah.
Because I know fucking shit, man. Right,
Wait,
okay.
but NASA
No,
is
just because I am one doesn't mean I know about them. I only know about myself.
outrageous.
He doesn't know. He doesn't. It's like an AI. AIs don't comprehend their own existence. Neither does NASA. Anyway, right. So moving on to housekeeping. We're always asking you to like us, but it's always important to remind you that we do like you too. It's not like it means anything, Baka. You could have given me some stage directions there, NASA. But anyway, no, but please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It all helps towards the I can't do that. You should have saved that for the things. But anyway, but it all helps with the YouTube search algorithm and everything. And great to see the engagement. Also, come have fun on the Discord server. Tell us your favorite animes. Convince us to watch, your own suggestions. It'll be, maybe we'll have a party someday. Come, let's hang out. We should hang out sometime.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see new faces appear.
Remember that there is both Xeno's Discord, which is the slight gaming thing and more multifunctional, and there is a dedicated KampaiCast Discord server now. Links in the description below.
Yeah. Right. And this to me this is big news, right? To me this is like holy shit news, but to most people they won't give a fuck. So if you've been with us for a while, you'll know we've been having an issue where the background images will on occasion start flickering between two different images. Well, that's a thing of the past. We finally discovered the issue. Shut up. No, I know what the issue is. We finally discovered the issue, and it's to do with the file names and JavaScript. It was just basically JavaScript couldn't reconcile the file names, and it was confusing it.
Anything that had like special characters at all was throwing it making it crazy.
So that should now be a thing of the past. It only took us like 82 episodes to find what the issue was.
It should also mean that sometimes we wouldn't.
In my file names.
Yeah.
No, so what you call it for this episode, for the VTuber stuff, like I was taking screenshots of what's
their actual channels, their actual YouTube channels.
Oh, go.
Yeah. So I was taking screenshots using what's the plugin we use?
Is it Enhanced YouTube or something like that? I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It has a special button that allows you to take a screenshot without the UI, right? So I was doing this, but it maintains the file name of the video. And if they've put special characters in the video title, like these weird brackets or a hash symbol or like the weird apostrophes and things like that, was causing JavaScript to break and not able to compare the two. So
it's also why sometimes images we'd have images in the folder, but they wouldn't come up on screen, and it's like, why is that just not coming up? It's just because the system didn't understand how to do
that was definitely the hash symbol.
Yeah,
it's all special characters. You just can't have them in file names. It's just everything else. But so we put something in place that will automatically clean that up. After I had to spend 3 hours fixing it after I broke it. So but it's all good and glorious now, and that flickering should stop. Anyway,
Woo!
That's enough.
We're professionals.
That's enough.
We're professionals.
That's enough of me stroking my ego. Let's move on to the...
Not on the VTuber episodes, No stroking anything on the VTuber episode.
But let's move on to the main topic of this episode, which is VTubers. So my first question, right? Because I do see you as the expert here, Thalian. What is a VTuber?
Well, remember the song "Video Killed the Radio Star"?
No.
I do.
No?
I do. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, he does.
Wannabe does. So video killed the radio star. When video became a thing, the radio just fell off.
Yeah.
VTubing is digging it back up and giving it a new lease of life. Basically,
I thought podcasts did that.
Kind of. So the thing is, these are full streamer entertainers, and streaming as a whole form of entertainment has been discussed to death. And it's, we even have a couple of streamers on here. I could name a couple.
Nah, couldn't be.
The idea is that you simply have the radio personality, but with a streamer face on it, and that in itself is absolutely brilliant. It's really freeing to people, as a way of being a personality online, but maintaining the anonymity that the online space can give you. So VTubing specifically is having an avatar where, no matter how detailed, you can be a couple of PNGs that you flick between manually just to have give yourself some emotions, some emotes to take part in the discussion. You can be 2D, there's a whole ridiculously detailed subgenre of VTubing specifically relating to 2D models and how they can be animated and rigged to try and get the most out of them, all the different toggles you can add to give yourself more personality. Or you can be like Nazeth and have a full 3D model that is either rigged to work with pretty much anything you like. You can have a purely face rigged model, or you can have a full completely mapped to hands, head, hips and feet.
I use my phone via NDI, which is essentially over my network, as a camera, so I don't have to even have a fancy camera. I just pop the phone on,
Yeah.
I did spring for the fancy leap motion for my hands, but exactly, yeah.
So there are so many different ways that you can actually make yourself seem more animated or less animated, depending on how you want to be, and it's given rise to a huge variety. But at the same time, we found that it just has also concentrated a huge portion of our viewership into what seems to be anime. As you can see,
a lot of these are anime inspired.
The art style is very much anime, and where it's not anime, it's Disney. And where it's neither, you have that thing, because there's a great crossover, as we know. Being anime fans, we know that the inspiration for the original anime was Disney.
Yeah.
There's Betty Boop and all of these, the big eyes, the small nose, the expressive mouth, that doesn't have to be too detailed. And because so many people know that art style, because so many people can recognize the different aspects of it so very quickly, it's become a huge part of the sphere of entertainment. And I just love the fact that people can go out there and, while maintaining their anonymity, as I said, they can do things like this. They can be completely extroverted, or little degenerate goblins, or they can basically VTubing frees you up to be horny on main. And it just makes for more entertaining viewership than just a guy staring at a screen like me. I'm just chatting back and forth.
I do feel that with VTubers, there is an extra level of I would say there's a nice level of disconnect, because you have these people that can be crude and humorous and things. Like I've watched some highlight streams or highlight VODs of Rubber Ross, who will do a lot of collaboration stuff with VTubers, where they're doing things like Never Have I Ever, or Two Truths and a Lie and things like that. And there are some VTubers that, like female VTubers especially, that can be a certain level of crude, right? Which I feel that in today's society, right, like women are not allowed to be that level of crude because it's looked down upon, especially in a workplace environment. So one of the great things is that if, let's say, Buffpot does decide to talk about how she shat her pants in New York City.
Yes, that was, you mentioned 3 Truths and a Lie, and that was it. The 2 Truths and a Lie, and all 3 of them were that she shat her pants somewhere.
She shat her pants
2 of them were true.
She shat her pants in Cape Canaveral,
Las Vegas,
and the other one was Las Vegas, right? And Las Vegas was the lie, and everyone was just like, "What the hell?" It's like, yeah, I shat my pants, you know. So it's just funny to have this disconnect, like this like you can easily not run into this person sort of thing. But like I've had it where I've gone to TennoCon and things where people have actually seen me and gone like, "Hey, I love your stuff," and I'm like, "Fuck, what do I do?" And I wish I had the opportunity to sort of like nope out of there, right? Because I was in the middle of something, you know. But it feels odd. But again, like I know that there are some. There's we'll get into it in a short bit, the whole graduations thing. But like, you know, being able to just go, nope, this isn't for me, and just bow out and effectively not have any negative repercussions, I think is a huge positive to the whole thing.
Yes. But also it adds to a certain air of mystery. Something that was always a thing about radio hosts back in the day was, what do they look like?
Yeah.
You know, they've got such big personalities. They have to be entertaining. They have to have these views on things, or be able to answer questions that are put to them by the viewership. And nobody knew what they looked like. And they were often wildly different from how people expect them to be.
I think also in today's sort of content, it's difficult to be a disembodied voice.
Yes, that's just what I was going to say. Yeah.
When it's radio, it's fine because you don't have that visual component. I remember having this conversation with Nazeth.
Years ago at this point. Yeah.
Nazeth, we can't hear you. You've muted
What?
yourself.
Oh no.
Right,
well, the audience is here.
Yeah,
I was just saying that's exactly what I was gonna say when what you're bringing up now. Yeah.
Then you say it.
I mean, yeah, you can still achieve that anonymity without having a model, but the audience really does seem to like having that visual component, even if it is just a 2D model, like Frangible, who we don't have images for, but she has just a few little 2D cutouts that she swaps between. They're not even animated; the mouths don't move or anything, you know. But it still gives the audience something to identify with, something to focus on, a face to put with the voice.
See, I think there's a big. I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's not so much that the personality is needed. I think the problem is that because we have visual input, we have this whole. You're playing a video game.
You can have all the personality you want, but without that visual component, it doesn't hit as hard as somebody who does have it.
No, what I mean is, right, if it's just radio, just being the voice on radio is fine because there is no visual component in any capacity. So you could be doing the dishes, you could be doing the ironing, you could be doing whatever. You're listening to someone's voice. But when you've got the visual component of watching someone play the video game, but you don't have the visual component of what they look like or something that you can associate the voice to, I think that is the disconnect that people don't like. And I think it's a very subconscious thing.
It's especially true in the streaming sphere, because this is what the whole thing comes back to. Because Twitch streamers are real people.
Yeah.
And the non-VTubers, they have a face, they have reactions. a huge proportion of the content on YouTube and other platforms now is reactionary, where you're not you are, because how should I put this? Whenever I've watched a series, whenever I've watched a movie, the next thing I want to do is, if I watch it again, I want to watch it with somebody who hasn't watched it.
Yeah.
So that I can see them experience the joys and the lows and the emotional rollercoaster I went through, and see how they're different from me. So reactionary content is providing that. And in the same way, without a face like a VTuber model, you can't really see the reaction.
Yeah.
So
you can see me like nodding or talking, or oh no, I'm all scared now because I'm playing a game that's scary, that sort of thing. You couldn't see that before. You'd only be able to get it in my voice. And that's if I say anything. If I don't say anything, you have no idea.
Yeah. Right. So moving on, I want to highlight I suppose, not only the start of VTubers, but also the when it started becoming popular. Because tablet devices existed prior to the iPad, but it was the iPad that really took off. That made them popular. So, same question.
Do you gentlemen know who the first VTuber actually was?
You said a name the other day, and I'm like, what? But I don't know who this is.
Okay. So the person that everybody thinks is the first VTuber is Kizuna Ai, or iChannel, who was a full-body 3D model character that was played by an actor and existed as an AI chatbot, kind of thing, almost kind of affair. She was supposed to be new to this whole world, and the viewers gave her recommendations of things to do: play games, watch videos, read things, and react to the world from her position as an AI. The actual very first VTuber was the Tool Bear from the Den of Tools, who the Den of Tools reviewed tools explicitly, and he was just an anthropomorphic bear that used basically face app tech to chat with you. And he was 2 years before Kizuna Ai, at least. It's like 2006.
Wow.
And, it was a really weird one. Some guy, Brian F, on Twitter, posted about this. He said that he was trying to explain things to his parents. He's trying to explain VTubing, and his dad just says, "Oh, that's just like the Tool Bear." And so he looked him up and found that for years before Kizuna Ai, his dad had been watching tool reviews by the Tool Bear, who was basically a VTuber.
Right. So I suppose that... Yeah, go on.
Yeah, but since then, since Kizuna Ai popularized this idea of being a personality in an avatar, it started taking off from there. More and more people liked the idea, and she grew into a bit of a phenomenon. I think there was a good 10 years where she was one of the most popular people on YouTube. And it was for a reason. It's because it was that reactionary content. It was new, and it was something that people were still getting used to as part of the technology and the time. So you've got to lend a lot of the weight of these things to that particular person.
I actually remember when VTubing was starting to take off, or starting to get more popularized, and there was actually a pretty big pushback against it. People were like, "Oh, this is terrible! You can't this is not right. You shouldn't be able to just hide behind an avatar. You're taking things away. You're taking viewers away from hardworking streamers who actually show their face. How dare you?" And but now it's just accepted. It's just a thing.
Change is always pushed back upon. There was also a lot of the sensationalizing around it, because of course at the time voice changes existed,
Yeah.
So
that's true.
there was an awful lot of thing of anybody could be behind that avatar. Anybody could be doing that voice. And to be fair, there's still a bit of that. One of the more popular streamers at the moment is part of VShojo. Her name is Entraya, and she uses voice to text to speech for communication. So even the voice is hidden. There's no way that you can recognize it.
Wow.
People, when they started out, people actually believed that this was because Zentraya was a male, despite the obviously very female avatar. And there were a couple of like Freudian slips that everybody used to prove it, and prove, I say in quotes, that was the case. But honestly speaking, doesn't really matter. The personality's there, the avatar's there, and even the text-to-speech voice has become incredibly iconic for the character.
So on a bit of a similar note, what do you think that's really contributed to the success of VTubers today compared to, well, it is
sexy
a hard
anime
question.
avatars?
Well, it could be.
That is part of it. That is part of it.
Male and female, both have very sexy avatars. If you really go out, and,
I think that's part of it, but I think it's because of what we mentioned earlier, the anonymity. It's getting more people that would never have tried it into the streaming sphere.
Yeah,
it's brought in talent that we would not get. One of the most famous VTubers at the moment is Iron Mouse.
Yes.
Now, Iron Mouse confirmed she had a blood plasma disease, as far as I understand it, that ravaged her voice. She was training to become an opera singer.
Hey,
and
I didn't know this. Yeah.
No, and she's basically bedbound.
Yeah.
So she turned to VTubing as a way to stream, because streaming was the only, interaction with the world that she could do. And her voice was and still is incredibly unique for the particular tone and pitch it can be. She was a natural countertenor range.
I don't necessarily know what that means.
Okay. Countertenor is the range where if a man can sing in a female voice, sing in a female voice, it's that kind of range. It's high and clear.
Yeah.
And so you've got so if a man is tenor and countertenor is the equivalent, registers up for a female voice.
Okay.
And so she was naturally that high. And unfortunately her illness made her quite scratchy and squeaky as well. And add to that the attitude that she brings from being Puerto Rican and the different background that gives her. It gave her a really unique mix on the personality.
Yeah.
But she would never have managed to do this streaming because she was literally, for much of her time, intubated. She had an oxygen breathing tube across her face.
Yeah.
For the early parts, and she has to take medication that leaves her adorably zooted on stream sometimes. But then, as she began to make the money and get better and bring in more, she was able to practice more and more, and she started singing on stream. And again, opera singer in training. And her voice control is incredible. So with her high voice, suddenly dipping between the registers of operatic song and being able to sing like Japanese anime openings incredibly accurately and incredibly well, it just lifted her above the common crowd. I believe I've actually brought in assets to this one that Nazis would have put on there. And
the assets. Yes. Which one would you like?
So, let's see. Which one, in the order that they were on the list?
Oh no, why isn't it showing up? Oh no!
There we go.
So
All
weird.
right, so the first asset that we got, this is the most popular VTubers based on peak viewers, aggregate across the streaming platforms, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, all of them. And if you look down through, these are all Japanese VTubers. But from the same article, which that will actually come from, this is from the Stream Charts website, which can actually rank streamers and so on. The most watched VTubers of the first quarter of 2023 almost entirely match this content, with one exception. The number 9th place, the only Twitch streamer on this list, is Ironmouse, with 2.9 million hours.
Goodness gracious.
Jeez.
Now, the top one on both, I believe it's on both, should be Pekara, or Pekara, who is is she Niji Sanji?
No,
she's
Hololive.
She's Hololive, yes. She's Hololive. And in terms of actual hours watched, she's at 7.19 million. And that's just in the first quarter of 2023.
Yeah.
So these are popular people. The funny thing is, though, in terms of peak viewership, this time last year, Ironmouse was top.
Yeah. Yeah, she was actually. I remember her being on top of the charts, and there's a big lot of fanfare about it amongst some of the YouTubers I watch. So.
Because Ironmouse ran a subathon, which is Twitch streamers will be familiar with this idea, where you put a timer on screen, and you're going to stream for that amount of time. But if a person subscribes to the channel or donates to the channel, they add seconds to the timer.
Oh God.
Yes. So they keep going, and they will even sleep on stream if it gets popular enough.
Oh God.
Ironmouse has a known friend who has another VTube avatar of Booby.
I know who you're talking about, yeah.
Yes. And Booby appeared on her stream when it was starting to flag. It was about, I think she had less than 8 hours to go on the stream. It was running down. And because of his showing up and his hyping the crowd, I think he was only there for about 40 minutes. His chanting, his particular personality he takes on as Booby, raised her timer, and this is the thing, subs, which are $5, so it would raise the timer by 15 seconds on her stream.
Bloody
In
hell.
one drive, over the course of 10 minutes, Booby asked her viewers to raise a timer. It went to 28 hours.
Jeez. Whoa.
Wait. As in, it got another 28 hours.
It got to 28. Oh, it got 20 more hours in 15-second intervals.
Oh my God. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the idea of the money, but like...
I'm not sure how much money that actually translated to, but somebody calculated based on how much Twitch actually takes from the
It's half. Yeah, they take half.
subscriptions. Yeah. Then Ironmouse earned approximately $5 million in that one stream.
Fuck!
Yep.
Which is why, over the last year, she's managed to buy her parents a new house.
Wow.
Yes. So, you see,
Yeah.
she was the third most watched peak streamer on Twitch total, and the top of the concurrent viewer charts and hours watched charts for that quarter.
I mean, when you hear stories like that, it really kind of makes you want to root for them as well.
Definitely, especially considering her background in that in that sense. She can now get the plasma transplants and the surgery that she needed.
Yeah.
And she's on her way to being better.
Yeah.
Whereas before she started, it's unlikely that she would have ever gotten to the point she has.
Yeah.
And all because she doesn't have to show her face. She can be a little pink demon girl. And she can be an absolute gremlin about herself and what she likes. And
don't we all have a little
she
pink
can-
demon girl inside, really, when you think about it?
Well, Anya.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Sure.
mine's green and has wings.
So
fair enough.
one question I have, right? I think this is going to lead a bit away from the contributions to success, but feel free to steer back. But my next question is about the impact of face reveals, right? Because I know that a lot of agencies, which we will get back to in a minute, they have a no talk policy. You cannot reveal who you are, you cannot say your real name, so on and so forth. You cannot be identifiable outside of your character.
But they require verification of who you are for themselves.
Yes.
And sometimes
of
there
course.
are internal leaks as well. So you get leaks of VTuber faces from some of those agencies.
So on a personal note, right, how do you feel about these characters doing either a partial or full face reveal? I'm pretty sure Kaon's done one, and I know Nanas has recently done a partial along with Lord Aethelstein.
Lord Aethelstein, yes.
Yeah, How do you personally like the idea of the face reveals?
I honestly don't mind when it comes down to it, because if you feel confident enough to show your face on the internet and be identified as that personality, that is a big step. There are lots of consequences that you can have from that, especially if you were so mysterious and behind your character before. It's a huge choice, and it's like any regular celebrity appearing in public without some kind of bodyguard. Somebody to,
especially a
ward off.
voice actor,
Yeah,
because that's what gets to me is the face reveals to me are really nothing more or no more traumatic, damaging to the idea of the character, I guess, than knowing disconnected, something like that. Than finding out who voices, when I was younger or something, finding out who voices a beloved character and what they look like and that sort of thing. It's well, they don't look anything like the character. Oh well, it's no big deal. Personally,
I actually don't like it. I feel like there's a shattering of the illusion. It's finding out how the magic trick was done. There's something to be said about the mystery of how was the trick done, and having your guess but not truly knowing the face reveal. I mean, not to shout anything nasty about them, but there's Quiet Shy, right? I didn't like the fact that Quiet Shy had transposed her online personality from the hand sticking up the middle finger to an actual visage of herself. It kind of ruined that anonymity for me, and it's just I liked it when I didn't know.
Could that be an internal bias? You mentioned
what sense?
before about the way that it's not often socially acceptable to be these personalities as a person in real life, especially for women. So, could it be that the attaching that personality to a person brings back your uncomfortable nature with that, as
So
opposed to letting the personality stay?
So are you proposing that because, say, Buff Pup, or I think Scruffy's also quite crude. If this crude
Snuffy.
individual, Snuffy, sorry, my bad. If they were this crude and said it to me, and I knew what they looked like and things, that is the damaging
If they were right
factor.
in front of you, if they were right in front of you, you could recognize them as a human. Would you feel that was what contributed to you not liking that particular way of
I don't
dealing with
think
them?
it is. I think it is the. I feel more intoxicated behind the not being faced with the anonymity, right? I find it really attractive to but who is the Batman? Who is Spider-Man? Knowing who they are on the underside, knowing the alter ego, it's kind of like, yeah, but I'm, okay, so when we play a game about Batman or Spider-Man, we never play as Bruce Wayne or Peter Parker, respectively. We play as the superhero, right? That's the interesting part. And in part, I feel that the same with Nanas or Iron Mouse. My personal preference is I like the anonymity, right? I kind of don't want to meet them. But likewise, I mean, I know DK Diamante. He has recently, gone full hog into the whole VTubing thing. I know DK. I know what DK looks like. I've spent a lot of time with DK.
He's been on this show.
That anonymity was never there. So I don't feel like he has lost anything by inheriting this VTuber personality. But I do feel like I'm not a fan of face reveals. I would rather be left curious and not knowing.
That's fair enough. So that's it. It's more of a inability to disconnect art from artist in that sense.
Yeah. I mean,
people have that. That's absolutely fine. So I find it, when my curiosity is answered, I feel more satisfied that I was right, or even that I was entirely wrong and my expectations were subverted. I feel that more than the disappointment.
I'm just happy to have more information.
I mean, to me, it's I don't know. It's on par with the mystery box. Like if any of you have watched Mission Impossible 3, you'll know what I'm talking about. Where you have the rabbit's foot. What is the rabbit's foot? I remember coming away from watching that movie, and I think out of all of my friends, all my social circle, I was the only one that was like, I don't care to know what the rabbit's foot was. It could have been anything.
Wasn't it?
They did that in Pulp Fiction too.
Oh no, Pulp Fiction. That's the one. Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
Pulp Fiction with the briefcase.
What was in what was in the briefcase, and the fact that people latched on so hard to, but what was it? I need to know. I just have.
You're missing the bigger story. You have to focus on this one little thing. Yeah.
Yes.
But then again, everybody else was in the movie as well. They wanted to know, and that's why it had that fascination. But by not telling us, it left it powerful, left the story behind.
Yeah.
So I'm completely on board with you having that opinion. That's absolutely fine. I just find that, having my suspicions confirmed is just as satisfying as not knowing.
So my question to Nazith, being the VTuber amongst us, how do you feel?
I wouldn't say that. That's pretty sus, man.
How would you feel? How do you feel? Have you thought about a face reveal?
Well, I mean, I've leaked my face so many times on stream already that it doesn't.
Yeah, I know you have.
It doesn't matter. Would I do a formal face reveal though? Probably not. I don't really see a point. Also, I don't really like the way I look.
So you'd rather be a cryptid that appears briefly when mouthing in beans from your.
Yes, exactly. Yes, or anchovies on the or was it anchovies? No, yeah, it was anchovies on the charity stream. Oh, yeah. So I'll show my face for stuff like that because you almost kind of have to if you want to prove that you're doing the thing. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's a detriment to my character to have my face out there.
How's this one for you, Zeno? What do you feel about non-face but real person reveals?
What, like their name?
So that, well, for example, we've listed Buff Pup already. Okay? Buff Pup has been for months now posting the shots from her games from her fitness drive because she wants to actually be buff.
So she's not showing her face, but she's showing her body.
Not showing her face, but she'll show her biceps and her progress on her abs, for example.
I don't have an issue.
Which, of course,
with that.
Progress on her abs it's sending me. Buff,
Careful.
Buff Pup,
Careful.
please.
We'll
please,
stop.
Buff Pup.
Oh my god. Anyway, but I don't have an issue with that because there's a
They could be
massive
anyone.
proportion of the anonymity, right? You don't know the face in the slightest, right? But the second you have the face, it's just like, well, anonymity's out the window.
Our brains are way better at remembering faces than bodies. Because,
but at the same time, it's like this is obviously a personal preference, right? This is my take on the whole situation, and I think I'm in the minority of keeping the anonymity. But I think I want to move on to the next question, which is let's talk about the agencies themselves. What are we've thrown around Niji Sanji, we've Niji
Sanji, Hololive, VShojo.
Yeah.
There was also, and if you bring up Asset 2, Nazif.
Sure thing. It worked.
Here we go. So this is the this is actually from the same article on Stream Chat that kind of it got me going on this topic after Zeno suggested it. This is VTuber agencies by proportioned by viewership. So you can see that because of the amount of viewership, Hololive, with Pekora being such a huge force on the actual concurrent and overall hours watched, has created a huge 24.6 margin of usage, making Hololive the most watched agency.
Wow.
Now, Hololive does in fact have 36 VTubers, so there's an awful lot contributing to that.
I don't understand why some of these are separated out. Do they? Are they still part of?
These are on this chart. Being this was all brought up based on the amount of hours watched in quarter one of 2023. The top 10 most viewed.
Okay. So this is like the percentage of this total, that Kazu.
Yes. So out of the 24.6, just one person accounted for that much. So Kusaha is the second most watched. Is actually a male VTuber at Niji Sanji.
Yeah. Okay.
Then
Gotcha.
The independent VTubers take up a huge 21.7. Then we've got one I'd actually not realized was a thing. It's a virtual esports project. Yes.
Tiny though.
So these are. It's tiny, but it's bigger than VShojo, who we all know a little bit more of.
Yeah.
As an English speaking kind of VShojo England, or English VShojo is a huge part of the Western streaming sphere. And of course there's others which they fall under people that get sponsorship, but they're not independent, but they're not part of an agency. Or the agency is much, much smaller by aggregate than VShojo and virtual esports.
Right.
So there's a whole 20% of the population falls under that.
I'm really surprised that VShojo is such a small percentage compared to the fact that, you know, Iron Mouse this time last year was the biggest
Yes.
viewed, and you got Nanas, you got loads of yeah.
That brings me back to that point I raised. V Shoujo has about 6 or 8 members
Yeah.
at the moment. Knowing that Silvervale and Vebe, 2 of their more popular ones, didn't renew their contract this year.
Right.
Wow.
So this quarter has been they've had a quarter of their, or a fifth of their force not
Yeah.
contributing to these stats. Whereas HoloLive have 36 VTubers.
Yeah, they do have a lot.
So
like
it's a
Oh,
huge
no, it's more than
proportion
that.
based on numbers.
it was 30 just for Japan, and then they have the English ones, which is
Yeah,
I
HoloLive,
think 12 to
which is-
18, and then they have
Wow.
Indonesia.
Wow.
Yeah, so
They have a
people
lot.
like Mori Calliope and Kiara, they are huge proportion of the English speaking viewership, and they belong to the HoloLive
Yeah.
English side. So it's a massive group. It's as big as any idol agency in
Yeah.
terms of presence on the stage at the moment. So it's the same with Niji Sanji. They have a huge amount because her channel has if we look at the watched ones again, you don't need to bring up the asset, but asset one. So that one is as you can see, all of these. This is the most popular YouTubers based on peak viewers, and that chart is incredible because of how many viewers they've got at any one time at the highest. But as you say, the third most popular on this is the HoloLive channel itself, the combined HoloLive channel. So the one that they all stream on occasionally, and that does their group events. So you've got Pekora, Suisei, then HoloLive itself, then then the Japanese ones. But you look at the platforms they're all on. They're all on YouTube as well, which is a much bigger platform in Japan.
Yeah, I find it so interesting that this whole VTuber thing that's completely, the majority is dominated by Japan, right? It's YouTube, not Twitch.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
That to me says a lot.
Yes. So if you think about these different ones going on there, in terms of viewership, it's the platform as well, and the source of where that platform's getting its most views. I think YouTube, as a company, is much more watched in Japan by proportion, or Japanese-speaking people, than it is over here in the West, because places like Twitch are not based there. They're not the same kind of thing. Twitch is very much a Western site.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but when there's actually these kind of things, which is why on the actual poll, the actual thing that sparked this off, which I wasn't able to get an asset of because they've done it more like an Excel file. When you go through Pekora, Kizuya, Kayori, Nico, Subaru, Watame, Kanata, unfortunately a Japanese name I cannot pronounce because it's actually in the kanji. Then Iron Mouse.
Yeah.
Out of top 10, the highest grossing Western VTuber is only 9th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's the only Twitch streamer on the list.
Crazy.
Yeah, and all of them, they are either Niji Sanji or HoloLive. So it's just a little bit biased, shall we say,
A little.
in that respect. So yes, looking at it too again, you can see that bias, that really strange split. Think about it. Out of all VTubers, 251.38 million hours watched in the first 3 months of 2023.
Yeah, that's so
That's
much
influence. That's global appeal. It's doing something right.
A few really dedicated fans. Anyway,
no, there's not enough hours in the year.
watch on more than one device.
Yes.
Yeah.
Think about our secrets. That's how we get our viewership.
Cool. Right. So the next point I want to ask you, you may or may not know this, is what level of influence does an agency have over a VTuber's career, effectively? So my guess, if I was in this situation, they would just be an employee. So, dear VTuber, you need to go play X video game, you need to go sing X.
The new Modern Warfare's out, and you're in the esports one, so you need to go play that right now.
You need to affiliate with some collab, so on and so forth. Basically, your schedule is, how do I put this?
It's not your own. Your time is not your own. You're
Yeah. You're
So-
a bookable resource.
Yeah.
As far as I know, it depends on the country.
Oh.
So it depends on the country and what socially acceptable employment situations can be had there, and how they define that employment.
Right.
So, for example, Japan, agencies there are idol agencies. We've had discussions on here before about the idol culture and how that is so strictly regimented and how it's absolutely contained within a certain structure and rules. And so in Japan, if you're a VTuber with an agency, they treat you as an idol. So they will have you attending events and collaborating with specific people, promoting brands, actually taking this whole sponsorship thing to the level that you don't usually see in Western culture. And so, yeah, as you said, with go here, play X game, talk about X topic, will be taken very, very seriously. It won't just be a 1-minute Raid Shadow Legends advert.
Yeah.
It'll be actual full-on promotion where, they'll have to mention a certain number of times in an hour that they've got this specific keyboard, for example. Or that they've gone with this specific lighting setup for their home. So that if they ever were to do a face reveal, they could light themselves with this particular Ring camera. That kind of thing. It's a ring light.
Oh man, these hand trackers I got from Quest are amazing. I don't know.
Yeah, check out my fingies. I can still keep moving them.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of thing. Yeah. So that, and there will be serious sponsorship deals with that as well. So VTubers that have an actual full-on avatar that's done in VR kind of methods. If they go, their agency will get a sponsorship from something like from a particular brand of that, and so all their 3D model tubers will use that particular brand and will bring that up. You compare that to something like the more English side of things like VShojo, and you have, as you mentioned, people like Nyanas and Lord Aethelstan going out in public and doing face reveals, because I believe that Nyanas is one of the founding members and is part owner of the company now.
Right.
So that's why she can, because she basically changed the rules to allow there to be face reveals if they agree to it.
Right.
If they deem it okay, they can do a face reveal. But they can also, they bring in who they choose and who they work well with, and they are more free to not renew their contracts. Like
Right.
I said, Vebe and Silvervale didn't renew their contracts, but there's barely any change to the structure of people like Silvervale. They still do the same thing. They're still getting their own new, updated avatars and so on.
So I do realize. So I just realized that we had that asset up just constantly. Sorry. Right.
Yes.
So so I do know that I don't know if it's HoloLive specifically or Niji Sanji or whatever. I'm pretty sure it's not VShojo, but if there's this whole graduation thing, where, as I understand it, it's where you part ways with the agency.
Yes.
But as part of the graduation process, that character is retired. It cannot be used.
Because you don't own the character, they own the character.
Think about it. Again, that's idol agency culture.
Yeah.
When an idol stops working for an agency, they don't appear under that name again. If the company owns the name, they have to rebrand and sing under a new alias or under their own name, their own personal name, instead of whatever name they sang under as part of the agency. So
and they have to wear different outfits and stuff.
They have to buy different outfits. They can't do collaborations with the people from the company anymore, and they can't. There is some strict non-compete as well.
Yeah.
Again, it depends on the level of contract they had, but there's again some strict non-compete in many of those graduations as well. By having to rebrand and having to appear under a different name, it means they are no longer capable of taking revenue from the company as that person.
So I feel that the non-compete clause is really shitty.
Yes.
I know in a lot of American work culture, it's everywhere.
That's a big thing,
It's technically in my contract, but it's specialized in such a way that I cannot reach out to any of the clients that I used to work with, right? And I cannot work on the same sort of like on similar systems, right? Yes. So like a big part of that is like, for my line of work, it's like, well, how are you going to prove that I'm doing any of this stuff? Because my work is behind closed doors, in the basement, in the secret vault, right? So like no one knows what the bloody hell I do. I just do a lot, right? But with something like being a VTuber, I can see that being a huge hindrance of having a non-complete, because if one of these people decide, I don't want to continue working for, say, HoloLive, they wouldn't be able to go work for Niji Sanji, or they wouldn't even be able to become independent.
Not under the same persona, no.
No, I thought the non-compete was just like, you can't do this line of work.
I was referring to that more in terms of the idol agency kind of thing.
Right.
But that's why they have the graduation, to retire the character, so you can't appear as that character again, and therefore your branding remains their property, and so you can't just pop up again the way Silvervale has done and still be that person just without the agency.
That might actually be part of why YouTube is more popular. Because technically in Twitch, they own everything. If you become an affiliate, they own everything. Now,
really?
that generally doesn't matter for most people. Like, they're not going to care if I go over to YouTube and take all my stuff with me, especially if I leave the affiliate program. But as long as I'm in the affiliate program, it's technically I have a non-compete, so I'm not supposed to dual stream or stream on YouTube at all, really. But yeah.
I think that's like one of the most. I think that's one of the most bullshit things ever.
Yep.
Right. It's just like,
it shouldn't be allowed. I agree.
Why can't I dual stream? What's the problem with dual streaming?
Because you're taking money away from. You should be bringing in your audience to Twitch, where you have money, where you can give them money. If you're going to YouTube, you're technically taking money away from them.
Well, that doesn't make sense. Because if the person's not on Twitch anyway, right?
But if they're streaming on both places,
then people will just stay.
Some people
on
might
the
want to
platform that they're
might
on
prefer watching on
and won't get
YouTube,
to
and
see them.
yeah.
It's such bullshit. It's just so utter bullshit. A part of me is just like, nah, fuck all that, ad revenue crap. Just like, okay, here's my PayPal donation.
Just start doing a
You want to
Patreon.
give me
Yeah.
money? Just put it in there, right? Because
Yeah.
like all of this is fucking bollocks. And I hate the ads. I hate the ads on
Twitch.
services like Twitch, right?
They're
They're
pretty
just
egregious.
such
I went
ass.
I went
They
to
are ass.
Gumby's channel and I got 2 ads when I came in. And then literally like 10 minutes later, I got 9 unskippable ads
in a row.
in a row. And then about half an hour later, it did it again. And I'm like, why? Okay.
Twitch, why?
Yeah.
Twitch, why?
Yeah. I hate
If the
it.
ads are that bad on mine, I don't
Which
think
one?
the ads are that bad on mine because I'm pretty sure I have some settings tweaked, but like,
Well,
Ugh.
here's another big thing, right? With YouTube Premium, sorry, we're going on a little bit of a tangent. 2 seconds. With YouTube Premium, it's in favor of the consumer,
yes,
right? Because you pay £12 a month, and that's it. No ads on
Or
any
dollars equivalent.
channel,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But on Twitch, you have to pay $5 a month per channel not to get the ads. That's fucking horrible. It's awful.
And if you're a
the
Twitch, if you're an Amazon
That's
Prime member, you
literally-
get 1 free sub a month, and you're paying an exorbitant amount for Amazon Prime. But
Think about it. You got that, but it's just like old cable in that
yeah, it
sense.
really is.
Except if you had to pay for every single channel and never got any bundles.
Yep. Anyway,
Right,
So,
moving on.
okay, that
next.
I think that would lead us on to streamers versus VODs, wouldn't it?
Actually, technically, yes. So one thing that I thought was really interesting as I was collecting a lot of assets from the likes of off of YouTube, there were plenty of streamers that have, or there are plenty of VTubers on there that don't really have much in terms of content outside of the live showings, and they don't keep the live stream, right? It's just like as soon as the live stream's done, it's gone, right? So you kind of have to be there in the moment. My preference is actually watching things like highlight videos, highlight stream. Basically, because I don't have the hours to just watch one individual a day. I'd rather see the highlights of their thing.
Yes.
And so I like watching. Sorry, I'm gonna do. Sorry. I like seeing the highlights from CDog VA, who will often do collabs with Iron Mouse, right?
Yeah.
I like seeing the shorts of Amala Lee, right?
Yes.
But those aren't official. That's just someone doing clips and just raking in
putting
revenue
them
from
together.
that. I hate that, right?
I'm finding a lot of the independents do clips, compilations and things. So we have the official channels for people like Snuffy, Shy Lily, for Buff Pup, Honey Goblin, Rose Doodle, and who was the other one that I do pay attention to? No, but I mean, some of the other ones have their own. Oh yeah, it was one's not on our list, which is Topless. They like their clips, their highlight reels, every few weeks, which are really good watching because they take some of the best parts of the stream and condense them down.
Yeah.
And the only people I know of that do that as an actual actual agency signed, are people like Project Melody or Iron Mouse. They depends entirely on what the actual content is, it seems.
So my preference is VODs, right? So my question to you two is, what type of content do you prefer to consume? for VTubers?
I don't really consume a lot of VTuber content, if I'm honest.
Well, okay, if you were, would you prefer VODs or live stream?
Probably VODs with a few exceptions, because then I can like set them to a faster speed to get to listen to them faster.
So I prefer to watch streams, but because of my schedule and because of everything else, I actually get VODs more often. I will watch more VODs than I do streams because I can't take the time out of my day to watch streams that I really want to.
Mm-hmm. I can appreciate that. So I did actually have a follow-up after this. I can't remember what it is now. Okay, so given VODs or streams, right? Which VTubers, if any, do you follow? Excluding Nazeth, because he's here right now.
Canandra and what's her name? Frangible. Technically also Cephalon Silver. Is he still Cephalon Silver? No, he's Silverlight. And my friend Rom, who is also So it's really just a very small list of mostly people I know.
Yeah.
So I have a bit of a wider net, but for some reason it's mostly the independents. I think they're funnier. So aside from Iron Mouse and Tanandra, Silver, and Rom, who I'll drop in on occasionally, I definitely follow Project Melody, Snuffy, Shy Lily, Rose Doodle, Honey Goblin, Buff Pup, and Iron Mouse. So I will, if one of those pops up in my list, I will go out of my way to catch up with what's going on with them, because most of them are fantastic fun.
There is one I see clips of occasionally. I don't know their name though. They use like a female avatar, but they have a really gruff voice like this, and they talk with a weird, a kind of a New Jersey accent, you know.
Yes, I know.
God, he's so funny.
Right out of my head.
He's so funny, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
No, it's that one. They answer questions that are great memes, like is Futanari gay?
Yes. Yeah. It's hilarious stuff like that.
They go through and even like do percentages and things in this thick gloss accent. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
I just realised who you're talking about. I don't know their name, but they do a lot of collabs with Amala Lee.
Yes,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I kind of get where you're coming from. My personal preference, I will only really watch a very small number. Iron Mouse is definitely up there because I like the banter that she has with Sea Dog VA. Nana's rarely. But aside from that, not really any, because like a lot of them don't do VODs. A lot of them. I mean, actually, to be fair, any of Rubber Ross's collab videos, and he'll have like a bunch of them on there. I'm happy to, oh god, like Buff Pup will be on there. Hold on, scroll down. Snuffy will be on there. Snuffy will be on there. I'm trying to think who else has been on there. They've had like Giwi's been on there, and like I like the I think Vox Akuma's been on there as well. But yeah, I like them, I really do. But I need it in this easy to digest manner. I can't be there for just hours on end.
I'll tell you who is one of the ones I actually do take time out to stop in on stream when I can find them, when my timetable allows, is Honey Goblin. Because one of the things they do, they are an artist as well, and they found this great way of showing themselves drawing, where they've actually animated a hand drawing with a goblin themed stylus like this.
Oh yeah.
So there she is doing the avatar and showing the avatars actually drawing on a tablet, but on screen the mouse is being followed by the animated hand.
It's essentially like a custom cursor. That's really cool.
Yeah. And that is a great way of showing the interactions and showing that the actual, it's not like a recorded bit of art or something that somebody's just playing over. You can see how they're drawing and erasing, and it's kind of like a Bob Ross stream, because Honey is really wholesome.
Yeah.
Despite some of the newer avatars. And you know, she'll chat with us, she'll sing the odd song when she's actually just happy drawing and enjoying her stream. And it's a really chill experience to jump in on some of these. I mean, there's other VTubers you go to for other reasons.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. Shy Lady exists for a specific reason.
Which is...
titties.
And feet.
And that face says it all,
Yes.
really. Okay.
And feet.
Lily is a orca themed, but orca with cat ears. She's an orcat.
Okay.
And so she's well known for her avatars, especially when she's actually streaming from VR chat with some of her affiliates, like Fillion is a VR chat streamer.
Right.
And they will occasionally jump in and chat with each other. And yeah, you can see she has assets.
Yes.
And
As previously mentioned.
What you can't see is that her feet are also just barefoot.
Oh yeah. She's barefoot.
I'm not kidding. It's hard to like not see what she's doing. Like,
Yes.
whoa.
But the thing is that she is a European streamer with an adorable accent, and she genuinely lived up to her name originally.
Right.
But streaming has brought her out of her shell and got her into more of a personality. So I think the dodgiest but most famous meme that she ever did. There's a particular world in VR chat where you can feed geese at the pond.
Right.
Okay.
Reacting to herself without hair.
So
And a plunge
yeah,
on her
she's
head. Yeah.
so of course you can change the hair. So of course her model is an egg, like without her hair, and so she just stuck a plunger on it. So what am I supposed to pull when you don't have hair? Oh, yeah, have a plunger. Yes, and she was in VR chat. She was streaming from VR chat in this goose feeding pond, the duck pond, and she took a pear off the table. Says, "Hey chat, want to see a magic trick?" And she turned towards the camera, so she's looking straight at the camera. Puts the pear between her legs underneath her skirt, and a goose comes up and eats it out from under her. So
God.
she picks it out of it, and it disappeared. Magic.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is what I mean about the whole crude thing.
Yeah, so some of them, but Lily's one of those ones that's actually appeared in public to do meet and greets, but still for the internet has masked her face in all the photos.
Right.
So her and a bunch of other independents like Bao the Whale and Akuma Nimine, or just Numi, they like appearing in public together at events.
Yeah.
Because they're all from similar enough areas that they can travel to meet up.
Right.
And when they're in the same room, it is absolute fucking chaos, and I love it. But yeah, so Shy Lily definitely exists for a reason in terms of that way, whereas others like Snuffy are more for the laughs and the chill.
So I think my last question that I kind of wanna ask is why. Okay, so this comes with a precursor actually. I think the anonymity for female VTubers is brilliant, because at any point in time, if they're getting harassed,
which, let's face it, this is the internet. I mean, it's gonna happen.
So first off, the anonymity empowers them to just tell them to go F themselves, right?
Yeah.
The other side of it is that if they need to burn that persona to get away from it, they can, right? And then they're not.
There is a specific thing about the female side of things for VTubing that you have actually touched on in this kind of moment. I think the thing is that it is a radio personality in that sense of the voice does a lot.
Yeah.
And they can, whether we want it to be that way or not, women are judged the most on how they look. So it doesn't matter how attractive or not you are as a VTuber, your voice can do it. Snuffy is a great example of this, because when she started out, she was her avatar was very pink, very themed, and she talked up in the high registers as a proper ooh kind of streamer.
Yeah.
And a few years back, she did a real voice reveal where she stopped putting on the snuffy voice and started talking normally for the first time. And her fans went nuts because her actual voice is pretty sexy.
Yeah.
Okay, it is really nice, and speaking in the lower range that she does, it does hit quite nicely. And I think that point, after that point, was the point where she got somebody designed her based on that voice a new avatar.
She seems like a lot more of a tomboy sort of,
but
punk thing person now.
Thing, but the avatar that she got before was, they gave her Smilfy because they designed it to be very much.
I think we can let the
streamer.
audience.
Yeah, that's what it was. So we'll leave it mostly up to your imagination. But I will say that
what's left to imagine there, Thalian? You said it all.
A very skimpy cow print bikini was involved.
Anyway.
So yes, and even on this one, this is one of her newest avatars, right?
Yeah.
As a witch of the forest with this dark purple raccoon theme going on. So she's always been a raccoon, but she's now for this forest entity. They've remade the Smilfy avatar for this as a slightly more covered version.
Much more Lulu from FF7 FF10.
So this is more like punk rock kind of girl aesthetic. But also because of the year, she's also got a bunny suit version.
Of course.
So, but this is mostly what she is. She's got this tomboy aesthetic. She's got she's definitely got the raccoon thing. She likes the association with the fact that she digs through trash to find things she likes. And because of the voice, because of the difference in how she appears, this appeal for women to be judged only on personality and voice is hugely freeing. Has to be.
Yeah.
So I will say, I think women have the highest chance of success on platforms like Twitch, but they have the by far
the
highest level
chance
of scrutiny.
Yeah.
No. It's just like they are unfortunately they are going to be victims of some form of
they're more likely to be targeted than I am. I may get one guy that comes in every now and then. I don't think I've ever had I don't think I've had one for years now that's been just coming in and been an asshole. But if you go to Tenandra's stream or whatever, you'll see people come in relatively regularly and just be an asshole.
Yeah. It's and that's the unfortunate thing.
And it's not just. I mean, it depends on the type of streamer as well, because in that sense, because it's not just women. Tenandra's a very good example as a female streamer now. That they weren't always Tenandra, and so the change in persona to become Tenandra has really
brought within its own
a lot of people who are, well, they are going to be arseholes to people regardless, and having it with that little layer of anonymity as a viewer, it just brings out the worst in them. So yeah.
Right. So I am now going to ask my question.
Okay.
It will be asked. I'm still trying to get there. Right.
All right.
So my question to you, right? Anonymity, empowerment aside, why do you think that the whole VTuber scene, from a popularity standpoint, is so heavily female dominated?
I think it is a combination of both the fact that they can be very successful at it, and that it gives them the anonymity to just be themselves and not have to worry so much.
I'm going to
everyone prefers it when you are yourself.
Pop in, Salient.
Sorry, yes.
Okay. So we know from stats that from VTubers, everyone that's actually listed as a VTuber, 81% of VTubers are female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will put into that, I think that this is a opportunity situation, right? When you get the chance to be anonymous, the anonymous thing cannot be separated from being a VTuber. It has to be. It's that what gets you into it is not having to be yourself visually and be yourself personality-wise.
Yes, exactly.
But that's a base level for all VTubers. The reason that there's so many female ones is because of saturation. I would say that based on the premise, more women are going to get into the idea than men. Men are more in this particular sense are more comfortable being called out for not being a handsome bastard.
Basically, what I mean, the anonymity gives them
comfortable showing their faces.
Yeah,
because they're not going to be judged in the same way that a woman is. And so, in terms of actual opportunity, so the base level of being anonymous gets in there, but then the upper ceiling is more open to women specifically because there are more at that end of the spectrum. There are more women becoming VTubers than there are men.
Yeah, so my question is...
why?
Kind of, but like, do you think that... I think you have alluded to this, but do you think that basically men are opting not to become VTubers? Or that
Look at the
women...
one you've brought up yourself, Connor, Seadog VA.
Yeah?
Okay. In the he has a persona.
Yeah.
And he also has himself. And Connor is a handsome man. From certain angles. Yeah. From certain angles, I'd say. Other people might not agree with me. And of course, he's got a great voice. He has appeared on stream as himself, as just Connor.
Yeah.
Enough times that he doesn't need to be a VTuber, or he doesn't feel the need to be, and he never has felt the need to be. He does it for his friends, but...
But my question, I suppose, in parts, like, it's not necessarily about who is established successfully as a male streamer, but like, I think there's a multitude of different ways you can look at this. Has VTubers empowered more women to stream? Right?
I think so.
I would
You know,
like to-
I
I'd
think
say
I
yes.
think that layer of anonymity gives them the freedom to do things like to stream that they may not normally have because like we've said, they get judged really harshly, and they tried to stream without that layer of anonymity, without that comfort zone to be who they want to be. That they just probably wouldn't do it, and that's less likely for men because men are like
Yeah,
told
it
to
is
be
less likely.
told to just be confident. Just be confident.
But there is a case in point in this discussion, and that's Project Melody. Really? I mean, Project Melody did not start as a VTuber in the traditional sense. And I caution.
We be very careful
I've got-
of
yes,
the words
I
we
want to
use
caution-
here.
I want to caution everybody out there when looking up Project Melody, if you're not familiar with her in the first place. Project Melody, while working for V Shoujo as a
Just gonna have
streamer and a
safe
thing, is
safe
very
search
safe.
turned on.
Yes, is completely normal VTuber. She did not start that way. She was not safe for work.
Yeah,
Okay,
a
and
few of them have kind of started that way.
she became famous as a personality because of her not safe for work side. That was what she started as. That's what she came up from, and still does. And that is an important part of who she is on, as a person on the internet. Is that? But you think about that. She started as not safe for work in a world where there is a massive saturation of not safe for work from people who are more than willing to show their face and all sorts of other things. So being able to become popular in that sphere of influence in the first place without showing your face and doing things that are quite clearly an animated rigged model is definitely empowering. Is definitely something that a lot of people think would be fine doing because it's not their body, it's not their self doing these things in the first place. And now she's not the only one. That's a sphere of things for virtual idols that's increased exponentially since her as well. But the
Waifus that you can interact with.
that's the thing. Having the female personality driving an animated model,
Yeah,
and doing the things that play into the male fantasy or even the female fantasy. Let's be open with that. Is incredibly empowering as a base state, because you can't get judged in the same way that you would in person. You literally cannot. There is no power there, and so somebody being able to do that and be themselves in that way without the external judgment of looks, of preconceptions, that's something that so many people don't have. That's why there are male VTubers in the first place, because they are not comfortable being seen in that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nazith is not comfortable, even though he is a very handsome man.
Oh, come on.
You know, I'm going to compliment you, dude. Accept it. So the rare glimpses of cryptid blur that I have seen, not bad. So the thing is, if you're not comfortable, that draws you to this new way of being yourself online.
And there are also things you can do with a virtual avatar that you can never do. Like, people can throw things at my head, or people can drop, all sorts of weird and wonderful. I can take my head off and spin it around like a basketball. There's no way I could do that with a real camera looking at me.
You're not trying hard enough.
Drink a mug and throw it over your shoulder without having to worry about it crashing on the ground.
I think one thing, I don't think it's possible to know, because I literally, while we were talking, I was trying to Google it and things. I would love to know, VTubers, what was the gender divide on streaming, and then today, what is the gender divide on streaming? I'm trying to find that analytic.
Overall,
I can't find it.
Yeah, overall.
Yeah, overall, right?
Yes.
Because I'm wondering if the number of female streamers has increased,
gone up,
or whether or not it's a migration, right?
I would say, okay, just based on my own loose experiences, anecdotal. Don't take this as anything more than just a one person's opinion of it. From what I've seen of the streaming sphere, the invention of the just chatting part of Twitch, seemed to be colonized more by female streamers overall than the gaming side. The gaming side of things was biased quite heavily towards men, because the same way that the tech industry in general, gaming seems to be biased towards male participation anyway. So while there always were women, the proportion would be lower. The just chatting area quickly filled up with women, because they were able to
hot tub streams.
They were exactly.
Not wrong.
I was going there. There's hot tub streams. There's particular clothing. There is ways of getting views based on how you look, and so that part of it. And then from there, it branched out more into the gaming side of things, because the just chatting streams had to go somewhere eventually. So people found that they could, put on the right T-shirt that didn't violate Twitch terms of service, and get just as many views as if they were in a hot tub stream, and they didn't have to be soaking wet all the time. It's and they could, do something they enjoyed.
I love how they're called hot tub streams when it's just this is a paddling pool.
Like,
this
has to be for
but
reason
it's
of,
just like this is not a hot tub. This is just a kiddie paddling pool with like a thimble's worth of water in it.
It's only that because they couldn't call it bikini streaming.
Fair.
Yeah. So also and it's actually art imitates life, because of course there was a trend of putting the 2D assets for a paddling pool or a hot tub, or in Iron Mouse's case, a lava pool, into the VTuber 2D models.
Even Tenan did that at one point.
Yes, exactly. So it's not isolated in that sense. Hell, I think Vox Akuma did it.
Yeah.
Right. So, I think. Yeah.
There's definitely, I would say, a shift in the streaming sphere now, where in live, male dominated. In VTubing, we've obviously seen the stats. It's 80-20 to female dominated.
I think for me personally, I wouldn't want to do streams with a VTuber setup. And I'm fine to. I mean, I've been putting my face on the internet for God knows how many years now. I'm fine with it.
Oh, but just think about it. You wouldn't have to wear a hat anymore.
Well, I don't wear a hat during my streams, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, fair
you're
enough.
Not watching.
No.
Wow. Is that why we can't see your face during the streams?
Anyway, the
screen glare.
Anyway, but in terms of doing like a full on like video essay or even Notice Senpai and things, I would use an avatar because I want to properly 3D emote them and things like this. I don't have the camera set up. I don't have the space for it. But having a scene that I can change and customize and things, I really like the idea of. I also like the idea of people being able to sit in the stands watching it, not so much live, but during a live studio performance, sure. So it's that's the sort of thing I'd like to do. What the so yeah, I think we've
Hey, I got it off
this-
his channel, all right? It's not my fault.
That's fine. That's fine. But I think we've spoken a lot about VTubers and things, so I think it is time we started wrapping up the show. So
Right.
let us move on to the supporter
But
questions.
that's anime in entertainment industry. VTubers.
So basically
is
what I've
it is, and I love it.
basically what I've learned is I need to get King of Nightmare to give me boobs. Yeah.
And this is where this show
Yes.
gets cancelled now. Anyway, so supporter questions.
We've already found.
love
We've already found Nazareth Rule 34 for people on the Discord.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
Okay, moving
Right.
on. Moving on.
Supporter questions. Rugal says, if you've made it this far, and I know I have, enter Pickle Juice into the comments below to be entered in for a chance to win my love and affection.
Crap. Now I'm gonna have to
Maybe
actually
even-
comment on our own episode.
What?
I want to comment on our own episode so I get Zrugal's love and affection.
Anyway.
Oh, that's a good point.
Do more shorts. This is not a question. Oh man.
We really do. We really should. We really should. It's so hard to find the time, though.
Well, no, I mean, like, I don't want to do them for myself. If you give me the audios, I will put them together. I got zero issue for that. But coming
I have
up
no
with
idea
them
what to do.
and then putting the fucking videos together,
Yeah.
is a pain in the ass. Right? Right. Dominus Thraxeth asks, has there been an anime that you know is absolute trash, but you just can't stop watching it anyway?
Ghost stories.
Najika Blitz Static.
Ah, of course.
What?
Najika Blitz Tactics.
Absolute trash.
I can see that. I can see.
There's,
people
I'm
enjoying that.
gonna say Data Life because I think you guys hate Data Life.
Oh, I hate it.
I mean,
so
different.
dumb.
And different.
Yeah, okay, there you go. I love Data Life. It's just dumb. Anyway, Bayfod Bimblebrox.
Good job.
I got
Good
the
job.
Bayfod. The Thayfod I was impressed with, but anyway. We've seen a lot of questions about what shows the cast likes, what each member wants, doesn't want, or is indifferent to in an anime. What anime does each member of the cast think that the other member would fit into the best?
So I think Xeno would fit best in Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Yes, definitely.
He would replace Kobayashi.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that 100%. Not only because of the similar job skills,
Yeah.
but because Xeno would eat that tail.
I mean, I could have said Sword Art
And
Online.
that is not to be taken out of context.
Could have also
We
said
mean
Sword Art
Dragon
Online,
Tail,
but not
actual
Kirito.
tail. Oh, dear.
Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Okay, Nazareth. I'm trying to remember the name of the character. Give me 2 seconds.
I would fit into Eyes of Mars. No, I'm kidding.
You don't get a choice.
No.
Right.
This is what we do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what we think. Hold on.
For anyone in the audience that hasn't seen Eyes of Mars
kind
or
of-
our reviews of it,
I kind of want to put Nazareth in space.
Mhm.
What can we put in Nazareth
Have you
in
watched?
space?
Have you watched Iria?
No.
No.
Maybe?
Portugal.
I can't remember.
Oh, it's so
familiar.
good.
Kind of want to put him in a
Replace-
mecha.
I'm gonna say he's gonna be Aisha Clan amount of stuff.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I both love and hate that. It's so perfect.
Cat person in space.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Weird, inscrutable, chaotic cat person.
And
I'm trying to see the answer to this
Thalian Kazuma from Konosuba.
Mm, Maybe.
I'm way too sensible to be Kazuma.
Yeah.
Sure you are. Sure you are. Totally. You sensible. Uh-huh.
I want to put him in more of a. I think he would fit into Skeleton Knight from another world. I think he'd make a good Skeleton Knight. Yeah.
No, you
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Yeah,
No,
he enjoys really good food and drink. He wants to go on. He's good with the ladies. He wants to see elves.
How do we know that? How do we know he's good with the ladies? Have you got okay? Are you guys hanging out without me?
Yeah,
anyway,
with the ladies.
So let's move on to the next question.
Oh yeah.
Before
why
that,
is
just any lady viewers out there? Would I be good with you?
Well, the good news is we don't have
terrible.
any. So,
That was
and the
terrible.
anonymity is helping. But anyway, so right. So the last question from Thayford Bimble Brox is why is the Navy superior at watching anime? Because they love subs. Oh damn, that's so good yet bad at the same time. Right. Let us move on to the comments, and this is going to take a hot spell. Right, so first from the news, Stromber's Shell. I like that House Cat anime, but will I watch it? I don't know. I'll wait and see if what you guys say about it. Sorry, that was a strange thing. Fucking God!
There is no escape. There is no escape.
Right. Sorry, it was the that was a strange thing to ask me.
Yeah. Thank you, Strombus.
Right, Zrugal says Zrugal talks in the third person sometimes.
And I believe Compycast said that we would try to get Thalia to talk in third person at some point.
I don't remember this.
Yes,
but
I
anyway.
agreed to this for the next news episode.
Moving
We'll
on.
talk in third person.
Excellent.
Moving on.
Excellent.
Oh, is this because of Nazeth like weirdly saying this is Xeno's favorite thing? I'm like,
Yes,
why am I saying it like this?
Yes.
Right. So, and now for the cast's comments. So, Crane silently plays. First time I think this person's actually said
I believe
anything.
so, yeah.
Right. Okay, I don't.
Welcome.
There's a
I don't fully-
lot here.
Okay. There's 3
Shall
books of. Yeah, go on then.
There's 3 books of Kano Bakun and a sequel series. The movie only teases some of the backstory, and we haven't even gotten to book 2, arc 2 yet. They've already shown lore stuff like Miss Red.
Miss Redhead.
There we go. Like Miss Redhead, who showed up in season 2, episode 9, and Bokorori and Soketo are heavily implied to be a couple during the light novel of book 5 / the movie. Kono Bakuen is important for future seasons of Konosuba, since it's all connected. Also, don't expect an ensemble cast for Konosuba anymore. Konosuba season 3 onwards focuses on 1 character per book, and the side characters are around as important as the main cast. In the light novels, Konosuba wasn't focused on comedy, but the world building and lore. The anime doubles down on the comedy aspect, while the novels are pretty intense. The Dullahan fight was bloody, and Kazuma swaps parties in season 1. Kono Bakuen was also written before the book 5 / the movie, so it's the closest you'll get to the classic Konosuba, since season 3 onwards becomes darker in humour and serious, which is how the light novels are, and Kono Bakuen is being faithful for the most part. So, Nazis points out the whole Kazuma switching parties thing was actually pointed out by 2 star players Nick in the April Fool's episode of the comedy show Notice Me Senpai on Xenogeddion's channel at youtube.com/Xenogeddon, edited by Nazith and hosted in this case by Thalian. Wait, that's me.
It's a crossover of epic proportions.
Epic.
So many words just then.
That's actually really interesting, though. It kind of makes me want to read Konosuba to see how different it is from yeah. Anyway.
Right. Moving on. Strombus Shell says, got some real bangers this season. Nice. I would cancel my Disney Plus account if I had one. Is it just me, or does my comment sound sultry when the Thalian reads it? So, fuck off.
Sorry, that was a strange thing to ask.
It does, but yes, it does. Thalian reading anything sounds
Everything
sultry.
does.
Oh, That voice.
Zrugel had many responses to our recommendations. Nazeth has not listed them here. It said he just wants me to give Zrugel a heartfelt thank you for always watching, and we're very glad we can help out with good and wholly correct recommendations.
It was a lot of just like, oh, that sounds neat. I'll go watch that. Oh, that does. I'm sorry. That sounds terrible. Yeah.
Right. So let us move on to the memes.
Oh, the memes.
Yeah.
Where's meme? There's memes button. All right. Right. So right on into it. Aki, you must kill that demon to get the gun demon pieces and avenge your family and fallen friends. I'll avenge them. Denji, you must kill that demon because I say so. Because you said so. Oh.
Too true.
Good old Denji, just doing it for the boobs. I saw your post/comment asking for the order to watch the Fate series. I could have told you, but I didn't. I assume that's true of most Fate fans.
I mean...
Zena's like, just only watch the one. Stay away from the others.
No, I mean, like, this is the thing, though. Apocrypha and Fate Grand Order are completely separate from Fate Stay Night and things. But just watch Fate Zero. Don't bother with Fate Stay Night. Watch Fate Grand Order in the correct order. Just Google it and watch Fate Apocrypha. I know there's also additional movies. Yeah, anyway.
You took every lunch from me. I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, be true.
Wow, that girl is hot. That's a guy. That other guy's handsome. That's a girl. What is everything? Good old Berserk. Good old Berserk.
Mm-hmm. Or bad old Berserk.
Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist.
Yep. I think that's supposed to be like the midway point.
That's the midpoint transition, yes.
Yep. You, the adventuring party, she told you not to worry about.
Oh.
Right. What? What?
This is why Marika is the most powerful waifu of the season.
I see.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Just this is the power of Marika. She can silence demons with a look.
Nazeth, can you do us a favor? Could you turn off the noise suppression on
Oh,
Discord?
yes, I'm so sorry. So many things to remember.
Yep. So many.
So many. All right.
When you start feeling that weird stretching pain in your leg at night.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yep.
Do you see a slot that would fit
The semicircle.
semicircle?
The semicircle.
That's right. It's the square.
Oh,
Oh.
brilliant.
When you encounter an animator in Japan who is working 18 hours a day for a very low salary, shouldn't you kneel down in front of them and press your forehead to the ground?
Oh. So true.
Elves in anime only use bows or magic. Elves in Gate.
I really need to watch Gate sometime.
Yeah. I
Oh.
thought we watched it together.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Good.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh.
It's because we've got both seasons going on at once. People are
Yeah.
loving the crossovers.
Wait, is
All
there
right.
more?
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry.
Right. taking a picture of a butterfly but accidentally turn on the face filter.
Yes.
Omae mo shinderu.
Right. My second one. That's not my second one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Why is the second one a video? The second one shouldn't be a video.
Well, it is.
Well, can you swap it to the image?
Oh God.
Nazith broke it.
Apparently I did.
There you go. That's one. That's
is
the
it? Okay. All right.
Yeah, just go back to podcast. All right. I don't know why that's done that, but anyway. I overdid it. I did your mum again.
Oh my God. And that's even what's her name, isn't it?
That's Watson.
Watson.
VTuber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, number 3.
Let's see if it's right. What the fuck? What is that
I
from?
saw this.
I don't
saw
know.
this and wanted it.
I saw this. I was just like, what the fuck?
That's
am I watching? Okay, this is my new
incredible.
3. Yeah, there you go. So that's my third. Number 4. I'm glad I grew up with this, but damn, this is better.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. 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 Right. YouTube nowadays. YouTube uploads in 10 minutes.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then my last one, a bit of a wholesome one. POV. The screen can't stop me from trying to hug your cute ass.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh.
That's
Wholesome.
It. That's it for the
Wholesome.
memes. Right. You can find more memes over at twitter.com/camphigh_cast. We are looking to have it so that the memes will appear on the Discord as well, but I haven't got that sorted out. Yeah, for next week, what am I, a fortune teller? You know, am I here to tell you your future, Mr. Funny Pants? Get out. What do you think? What the heck? That's not English, Naz.
You
How am I
forgot the
supposed to do
joke.
that? I mean,
You forgot the joke.
I'm not reading out his stuff anymore. Right, but we'll work out what next week's episode is later. Anyway, thank you all for watching / listening. Now it's time to bottoms up and come high.
Bye.